Hiya, welcome to this week's tricky word, and as you can see if they can have a read of it, it is the word so, and it is a tricky word because we have so and then we have to that looks very, very similar, and we also have do, but they have the oo sound and this has the o sound. So this is why it's one of our tricky words, and it can catch them out when they're writing. Quite often they'll use the o sound when they're writing so it's one of the ones they need to be able to learn to read, but also to write. So first thing you need to do is have a good look at the word. I usually say, can you tell me two things about it? Sometimes they'll tell me how many letters there are in the word. They'll do the beans and sausages. They'll look at the shape. There's so many things you can do. So when you're looking at this word, it is a nice 2-letter word, but it is a tricky one. You might want to talk about that it's got 2 beans, but that this part of the bean isn't the o sound. This is the tricky bit because we would go so. So this is the tricky part. So that's why you have the starburst at the top and the bottom, just to remind them that it's there to trick them. That's the part they need to remember. You might want to draw around the shape, and this one doesn't go under, doesn't go tall. It is just a simple rectangle. So that might help them as well, helping that there's 2 letters, lots of different things. Play the game where you split it up and can they make it? There's not so many, but it really helps them to remember the order that they come in. And then it comes down to forming it. Now, if your child is finding the letter S a bit tricky, go into my handwriting on the Pashley Down website on the YouTube, sorry, YouTube, not the website, and see our letter formation for the S word, the S letter, and that they can help practice doing that. I'll give you a few tips on there, and it is just a case of writing it over and over and over. One of the ways we make this engaging is we could speed writing. So if your child is still learning and they need a highlighter, that's fine. If they're taking it slow or they're just reading it, absolutely fine. If your child can write it and they know it, we do something called a speed write. So we set the timer, 30 seconds, piece of paper. How many times can they write it over and over and over and over and over and over again? This one, don't correct them if it's messy. It's about getting that pattern, but you do need to correct them if their letter formation is wrong, because with the cursive, it's about creating the pattern that gets instilled into their head so that the pattern flows with their hand when they come to write it. It just happens naturally, like we are with riding a bike. It takes a while to learn, but after a while, it just happens without you thinking about it. And it's the same with spellings, and it's the same with tricky words. So get them to learn to recognise it, play lots of games with them around the house, get them to read it, but then when it comes to the writing, get them to practice it over and over. Speed write is a really great way of doing it, of making it fun, and you'll find that they start to do it quicker and quicker. If you really want to challenge them, put it into a really simple sentence. Don't make it a complex sentence. Make it really simple. You might have, so I am big. So I am big. Keep it simple, keep it words that they can spell so that their only focus is actually writing the tricky word. It's not about the sentence writing. Good luck, have fun.